With the commish, Nate.
right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Press Pass Live, your weekly podcast show for the OMFL. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight and for being with us. We have a great show in store for you. And the greatest thing is that we can do a show, mainly because we didn't pause. And I'm going to talk more about that before the end of the show. So lots of news to get into. Let's bring in my buddy, my co-host as of late, Mr. Trey of the Detroit Lions. Trey, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing fantastic. My heart's still hurting from, 8 hours ago.
Hey, man, I had to get up at 8:30 in the morning for disappointment for my team. We are terrible. I don't know what has happened to this team. The injury bug has bitten us, and we are terrible in every sense of the word except for the defense. The defense is playing really well, but they didn't come here to hear us yap about our team. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you tonight, buddy. They did come here to hear us talk about the OMFL, man, and we got a lot to get into it. Let's talk about our game of the week from last week. I've got a lot of games, as I should say that. There are a lot of games that we could talk about, even though I was going through them, and I was like, a lot of blowouts this week. There wasn't a whole lot to get super duper excited about, but I'm going to go with the Bills versus the Jets. The Bills come away with a 17-9 victory, a big victory for Bill and his Bills. All of the points in this game for the Bills scored in the fourth quarter. It was a 6-0 game leading into the fourth quarter, as the 6 points came from the Jets early in the second quarter, and then the Bills rattled off 17 points to come away with a 17-9 victory. 294 yards, I should say, for the offense of the New York Jets, only 281. The rushing yards were a bit low in this game, 92 rushing yards for the Jets, 72 rushing yards for the Bills. The Jets outgained the Bills 375 yards to 307 yards. But here is the key, and we're probably going to make some adjustments after this week, but 8 interceptions, or I should say turnovers, not all interceptions, but 8 turnovers in this game. Only 3 for the Bills, 5 for the Jets, and that's going to come back and haunt you every single time. Looking at a couple of player stats here, Morris, we talked about this early in the preseason, and I even sent some messages over to our guy, Judge with the Jets, and it's just mind-blowing that he's got the rookie Cameron Morris, or actually he's not a rookie anymore. He was a rookie last Madden, built up. He's now 5 years in the league. And he's got Zach Wilson just sitting there, not helping his team, not gaining assets, just sitting. I still don't understand it, Trey. But anyway, that's a conversation for another time. 5 interceptions for Morris, 3 interceptions for Josh Allen's, 213 yards to 223. Rushing yards, like I said, no one really ran away with this one. Breece Hall had 21 carries, but only 34 yards, a 1.6 average. That's not going to get the job done. James Cook did have 10 for 65, but only 10 carries. Looks like Bill had to go pass heavy late in this game, try to score and win this one. Diggs, 4 for 80. Wilson, 4 for 72. Davis, 2 for 62. And then looking at the defense really fast, Milano had 9 tackles on the day. Edmonds had 8 tackles and 1 assist. White had 8 tackles, I should say. And then looking at the sacks, Von Miller still getting it done, even at his elder age in football terms, 1.5 sacks. Quentin Williams had a sack, and then a half a sack from Ed Oliver. And then interceptions, man, listen to this list. What's up, Outlaw? 2 interceptions from Poyer, 1 from Elam, 1 from Joyner, 1 from Mosley, 1 from Hyde, 1 from Garner, 1 from Johnson. Oh, I feel like I need a nap after going through that list. But somehow, some way, the Bills come away with a victory against the Jets. And Judge, what are you doing? Help me understand. Why are you holding on to Zach Wilson? You could have moved him and gained some assets. It's mind-blowing to me. What's up, Outlaw? Good to see you, buddy. All right, so what is your game of the week from week number 9?
I'm a defensive guy, so seeing the blowouts and stuff and whatnot, yeah. However, one game caught my eye, and that is the Panthers versus Bengals. I've sifted through the scores, And I went and looked at the stat line without actually seeing the breakdowns of scores and whatnot, and I'm looking, and the Bengals dominate everywhere on the offensive side of the ball. I'm going, why? And then I went and looked at the defensive stats.
Yep.
The Panthers had 3 defensive touchdowns. The Bengals even had a defensive touchdown. Like, that's majority of the scoring from defense.
And the Bengals had the ball 24 minutes to only 15 minutes for Carolina.
Like, the Bengals had everything going, but the Panthers just like, no, we're the king cat in this game. We're going to play defense, and defense is going to win us this game. It worked.
He dominated in every aspect of the game. What's up, Pooty T? Except for interceptions. He threw 5 interceptions in this game.
5 interceptions versus 2.
I'll do it every single time. 11 tackles for Shaq Thompson. 3 of them a tackle for loss. Xavier Woods had 10 tackles. He had 21 tackles from just 2 of his players. Outlaw, I can't make him trade anybody. That doesn't work that way.
Brian Burns said, I'm eating quarterbacks today.
Jeremy Chin, 3 interceptions, 3.5 sacks from Burns. I mean, this defense for the Bengals was just all over the field. And when I think of Little Koch, especially last Madden, when he had the Titans, great running game, really significantly efficient passing game, and great defense. But the passing game, I don't know if it's because it's his favorite team. He's got all these weapons. He's got Burrow. He's got all these access to all these players. And I don't know, something is just a little off. But I will admit, and we're going to look at these because I'm just going to touch on. We're not going to spend a lot of time tonight talking about this, but I'm going to go show you all something of why I'm thinking what I'm thinking. I know that we made some adjustments, just a couple, I think 3 advances ago. So we're going to let this play out, this advance. But look at the top. We're just going to look at the top. What is this? 6, 7 players here. 9 touchdowns for Burrow, 33 interceptions. My guy Kevin in chat, 14 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. Kenny Pickerson, actually Dickerson, but Madden wouldn't let us call him Dickerson. 15 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. We get to our first guy who has positive touchdown interception numbers, Kraus, 14 and 11. And I love you, Dawson. I'm glad you're getting the Seahawks, but you're probably going to mess that up unless you change drastically. Matthew Stafford, 13 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. Deshaun Watson, 15 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Trevor Lawrence, 12 and 20. Mayfield, 11 and 19. And then we finally get to the only guy who's figured this out, 19 and 8. So these interceptions are just nuts. That you can see all the completion percentages are low. Kraus is at 70. Your guy Howell's at 71. Everyone else is low 60s, high 50s. And we've bumped up quarterback accuracy. We bumped up pass blocking just at default. We're going to give pass blocking like 1 or 2 more points, maybe. I don't know. I'm still playing with that idea. I really don't know. We may probably leaning towards leaving it alone, but we're probably going to come down just a hair on reaction and coverage. Just trying to we got to get these quarterback numbers up, man. They're really, really bad. What have you figured out? Like, is there a secret to the sauce? Because clearly you have figured something out here.
I think a lot of it has to do is we're so used to how EA hasn't really focused on gameplay, and DBs have paid consequence to it, so they don't really react the best.
Yeah.
And now they're like, they see a pass and they're on it. And so I'm reverting back to how I was playing back in like Madden 12, where I was like, if I don't have the space, I'm not throwing that.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I hate these stats. Stats are so ugly, especially my guy Little Koch, man, hurts in my heart. 9 and 33. Ugh. But some of me's like, just give it time, Nate. Let people adjust. And so that is where I'm at, friends. OMFL owners. That is the dilemma. As I see these stats, and I'm like, yuck, that's not pretty. but I'm also like, just be patient, be patient, be patient. And so I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm taking it under advisement. All right, let's talk about impact players. We're specifically going to talk about impact rookies. And there are a lot of them that are playing really well. I want you to get us going. Let's talk about some impact rookies. You did a lot of good homework last week, and we had to put it on the shelf, but we're taking it off the shelf this week. Give me some impact rookies that we need to be talking about in the OMFL.
I narrowed this down because I had a list of 8 or 9 of them. I've listed for one offense and one defense. My offensive guy that everybody should be keeping an eye on is Kansas City running back Isaiah Pacheco. He has 145 carries, 697 yards, 8 touchdowns, as well as 7 receptions for 8 yards. That's killer in a passing offense, essentially, what Kansas City's been built around since Patrick Mahomes has been drafted.
Only 1 fumble on the season and 16 broke tackles. He's played 239 plays. It always bothers me. Thank you, Madden. It always bothers me, though, when I watch our guy. What's his name? Shocks. That's it. Jesus, I lost it for a minute there. When I watch Shocks play, because when I see a number 10 get the ball, I'm like, that's not right. You can't have a running back wear the number 10. That's not a thing. But this guy is a baller. He's got speed, and he's getting it done over here for Kansas City Chiefs. Give me a couple more. I want you to talk. You made a list. Let's talk about them. I appreciate you dwindling it down. Normally, we got 19 things to run through, but tonight we got some time. There's no mailbag. Nobody filled out any mailbags, so I'm going to push it for next week. So give me a couple more. Let's go back to defense now, though.
To the defensive side of things, we will travel to the Baltimore Ravens and Mr. Kyle Hamilton. I noticed he was playing really efficiently. He's got 70 tackles on the season, 2 TFLs, half a sack, 3 interceptions, 2 pass deflections, a forced fumble and recovery, and has not found the end zone yet, surprisingly.
Yeah, this guy is a baller in an already really good Ravens defense. 6'4", 220 pounds out of Notre Dame. 28 solo tackles, but 42 assists. This guy's coming up in the box, making plays. I did talk to our guy Nipples. I was supposed to play him this past weekend, and he thought we were pausing, so he stayed somewhere where he didn't have his PlayStation. And he said this first season is going to be rough with him playing, but he knows he'll be back next season. And I'm telling you, Nipples, when he's plugged in and he's got this team rocking and rolling, could be scary. I watched him play the other day against our guy Denbrew, and he just is playing too loose, right? He's trying to play this like past Maddens, and as you've already noted, you cannot do that. You've got to really focus, and I think when he focuses and get that running game going and has that defense rocking and rolling, this team's going to be really, really good. Let's go back to the offensive side. Who we got?
To the Seattle Seahawks and running back Kenneth Walker III. He has 155 carries on 693 yards, 12 touchdowns, 1 fumble, but has also had 12 catches for 130 yards and a touchdown.
This guy's got 30 broken tackles, and he's only 209 pounds and 5'9". Like, what? We watched this guy make all kinds of plays at Michigan State. I know our guy Tim is probably getting all excited seeing what Kenneth Walker has been doing. And now we're going to have a brand new owner moving over to Seattle. It's going to be Dawson. He's got a rookie, or not a rookie, but he's got maybe it is a rookie. I don't know. He's got a good quarterback. He's clearly got a very good running back. He's going to have to continue to rebuild that Seattle defense, but if he can manage the cap here, he's got a lot of good pieces that he can play with. And we are seeing already two of your first 3 rookies that we've talked about come from the running back position. We might see a lot of impact running backs in the OMFL for a while. Give me another one on defense.
I'd be stricken if I didn't put a little bit of an ego touch on myself here and say Aiden Hutchinson.
Let's talk about it.
Man has 37 tackles, 24 for a loss, and 14 sacks, which is tied for the league lead.
He is all over the field. I don't get to watch all of your games, of course, but I've watched a few, and he feels like a cheat code. I mean, 16 solo tackles out of his 37. 24 tackles for loss. 24, listen to that, friends. 24 of his 37 tackles are for a loss. 14 of those were sacks. And like you said, he's got 3 forced fumbles. He's just causing all kinds of havoc over there. He's a little light, though, at 264. You would think teams would try to run at you, but when it comes to rushing the quarterback, man, this guy is getting it done and could be your OMFL Rookie of the Year. All right, give me another offensive one.
Add a little bit extra on this Lions theme of right now. I have Jameson Williams. He has 18 catches for 416 yards, 3 touchdowns, as well as having 3 kick return touchdowns on the season.
He's got 3 kick return touchdowns already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that guy is crazy.
He finds a gap and he's gone. It's not even fair.
He is speed all over the place. 6'2", 180. Of course, we know from Alabama. Only 3 touchdowns on the season, which is a little lower than I would expect from you and your offense. But this guy is big play. 23.1. That's true. 23.1 average. That's going to put him. That's going to put him number 2 in the OMFL for qualifying receptions. Guess who's number 1?
Tyreek Hill?
It's going to be Alex Belton at 21. So your top 2 guys in the OMFL are coming from the Detroit Lions. Now we got a couple of guys with 1 reception. Josh Palmer's got 4 and Godwin's got 7, but I'm not counting those guys. That's just not enough receptions. And then Zay Jones is going to be 3rd on that list, 19 receptions, averaging 21.3. Just big play guys all over the place. And then we even got a tight end up here, Mr. Mello Carlisle. He's got 29, averaging 21.1. Give me another defensive one.
I have from the Chicago Bears, strong safety Jaquan Brisker. He has 39 total tackles, 2 TFLs, 4 interceptions, 3 pass deflections, 1 touchdown.
Trying to see if I can find him real fast. Where are you at? I wish that you could search this.
For Bears.
Say that one more time.
He's 3rd on. If you search by the Bears, he's 3rd in tackles.
Oh yeah, I wasn't trying to search by the Bears, but I can now. Let's go search by the Bears. I can show it that way. I was trying to keep it in the main screen.
Yeah, unless they're in the top 100 in tackles, they just don't appear because
there we go.
Has limitations.
2 tackles for loss, 4 interceptions. Big Hurt, I think, in my opinion, is really known. Dwayne's so funny. It's really known for defense. Now, I've seen him build really great offenses like he had in Tampa Bay, but I feel like his base, his foundation is on the defensive side of the football. And Jaquan Brisker at 200 pounds, 6'1", he's going to continue to make plays for that Chicago Bears defense. Now, I don't know if Big Hurt's going to stay there. He's already putting in for new teams. Big Hurt, I think, he doesn't like to settle anywhere for some reason. But if he stays, I see this player just becoming better and better and better and better as we go through. Let's talk about what we are betting on. Let's see if I can get this. Let's see. I'm going to try. So I was trying to avoid this week, mainly because it was so bad last week. And things were crapping out on me so terribly bad that I was like, oh, I don't want to do this again. But we're going to give it another shot here. Let's see. Can't make this a little bit larger. We're going to talk about what we're betting on. Let's see what happens. Oh, you see, my computer already doesn't like it. I was trying to avoid all this. All right, let's get over here to what we're betting on. How can I pull this up? I don't know if we can get to it here. Fantasy? No, that's not going to be what we want. Even though that seems to be broke for some reason. Pody T, fix it. No, I'm just kidding. Schedules? Nope, that's not going to do it. Sportsbook. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's talk about what we're betting on this week. There are a lot of really good games. We literally just advanced a couple of minutes ago. Give me your first one. What are you betting on? You can go, so this is for our gold sheet. You can take the line, which is either going to be negative or positive points. Every now and then we'll get pick 'em. Or you can pick the over-under of the overall line. Give me one that you're betting on this week.
I have a feeling that the Cowboys and Packers at 50 points combined, I think that's going to go over. I have this distinct feeling that we're going to get the rare shootout between Priest and Wayne.
Priest coming off only his second loss, but one of them, his first one to you after being undefeated in the division. So he's sitting at 7-2. Dwayne sitting at 7-1. The Cowboys have averaged 29 points for their team. The Packers have averaged 28 points. So it seems like it could go over 50. I don't know. I think if Dwayne gives up that many points to the Packers, he may quit. I don't know. He may retire. Let's hope he doesn't. This is a tough one. The Chargers at 8-0 are playing the 49ers at 7-1. The line is 47. I'm not touching that because I don't trust either one of these teams. But the line for the 49ers is -2 points. I'm taking the 49ers at -2 points. I think this Chargers, and Pepper, I see you in the chat, Pepper. I think he's going to keep this close. I think this is going to be a very good game. I just don't know that he's going to be able to beat the 49ers. But let me tell you, if he does, man, it's going to go a long way to changing how people view the AFC, how they view what Pepper's doing over there with the LA Chargers. That could go a really long way. That's going to be a great game. I don't know if I could call it. I'm going to look and see when it's going to be scheduled. And if I can, that would be a fun game to call. Give me another one. What are you betting on this week?
I'm going to take the Eagles with the +1. The Commanders are hot and cold. I feel like this is one that they could potentially, throw an interception to Darius Slay and they lose by 1.
It's a pivotal point in the season for both of these teams. 4-4 for the Eagles, 4-5 for the Commanders, 24 points for, 24 points against for the Commanders. The Eagles 21 for, 23 against. So he's given up more points than he's scoring, but yet somehow he's getting a point in this game. That's one of those like scary picks. Like you think, oh yeah, I think I can do this. And then you're like, I don't know. That's a tough game to kind of try to pick. Here's a line that shocked me. Dolphins getting 8 points against the Browns. 25 points for him, 25 against him for Massimo and the Dolphins. The Browns and Denbrew, your champion Denbrew. He's now moved from the Bengals to the Browns, but he's still the champion. 36 points for him, 20 points against him. He's also not for me changing defensive, like making the defense stupider. I don't know, that's not a word, but it's a word tonight. You can see why. He's one of the better teams keeping you from scoring. And the Dolphins are getting 8 points on this game. That feels like a lot of points. I know they give up a lot, and you're playing a firepower of an offense with the Cleveland Browns, but man, you throw a couple of picks, get momentum against you, and getting 8 points, that could get ugly quick. All right, give me one more. Do you have another thing that we can pick?
I feel like taking the -2 with the Rams over the Cardinals. We're going to be having a new guy. I think this is going to be an opportunity where if the new guy isn't adapt with how the Cardinals play, it's very possible that Tim can walk away with an easy 2-point victory.
I know the new guy, and so that's the only reason I'm saying this. We'll talk about Bird in just a second. He's a very good player. We now play by almost the exact same rules that they play by in the TFL, so I think his transition and learning curve is going to be pretty small. Now, what does he do with the Cardinals team that's not really built for him? I think Dawson just struggled with a running quarterback. He struggled with just trying to figure out how to use that offense and how to navigate the passing game. I think Dawson plays the best when he plays extremely good defense and runs the ball, controls the tempo of the game. I think the Cardinals are going to shock some people. He's got to give up 2 points. He's gaining 2 points. The Cardinals are gaining 2 points against the Rams, and I think that the Cardinals are actually going to come away with a victory in this one. And I'm telling you, Bird's not going to do anything this season because that team's already at 1-8. But look out next season. I think the Cardinals are going to be a team to be reckoned with. Last one I'm going to throw at you. We got to pick them with the Jaguars and Chiefs, a 48-point line. Of course, Brady has retired from the OMFL. He just didn't like the new set of rules that we're all trying, and since it voted to stick for the season, he decided to take his talents elsewhere, and so we wish him the best. But the Jaguars and Chiefs are now going to be in a pick-em against Shocks. The Jaguars are going to be ran by a team favorite. Duval is getting his favorite team, moving over from the Seahawks. So we know that he can run the ball. He's taking over a team full of running backs, pretty good offense, really good defense. Man, in a pick'em game, what do you think happens with Duval taking over as Jaguars?
I think Duval is going to get the upset here because I think most people would expect Shocks to have the up and up because you're switching teams. You've been accustomed to the Seahawks for going on 8 games now. I think this is one where Duval is good. He's a good player, and he's going to come and, I think this is where we see him reach the top tier of the AFC, whereas he might have been held down a little bit in the NFC.
Yep, it's going to be a really good one. And that is what we're picking for this week. Now let's talk about what we're watching for. Let's look at the schedule. I'm going to show you a quick view of the league schedule. We got the Falcons at the Panthers. We got the Seahawks at the Buccaneers. We got the Vikings go and travel to face Bill and his Bills. We got the Lions and Bears, Jags and Chiefs, Browns and Dolphins, Texans and Giants, Saints and Steelers, Broncos and Titans, Colts and Raiders, Cowboys, Packers, Cardinals, Rams, Chargers, 49ers, Commanders, Eagles. That is your Week 10 here in the OMFL. Trey, what are you watching for in Week 10? Give me a game that you really can't wait to watch.
I've mentioned it already, and that's the Cowboys and Packers. I'm really excited to see how this one goes. Both are currently division leaders. They both have a base on run with a little bit of pass mixed in. And I've played both of them now. I've played Price in this new and improved offense. And up until the final, I'd say, 4 minutes of the game between me and him, it was close. The score did not justify how that game was actually played, and I played Wayne. Wayne, I think he can even put it through himself. He struggled, and if he's struggling against Priest is going to come up with this upset. And if that happens, the doors blow wide open.
I want to believe in Priest. I love Priest. That score from the Lions game made me go, this feels like a little smoke and mirrors, like we've seen this movie before. He starts out strong and hot, and then it unravels. And so the Cowboys are consistent. He is one of the most consistent players we've ever had here. Maybe one semi-bad season. I don't know. I just see the wheels kind of getting blown off there. The only thing I will say, it is in Green Bay, and that is going to help the Green Bay Packers in that one. I've talked about a couple that I can't wait to see. I really want to see what Big Hurt does against your Lions. Big Hurt is trying to rebuild the Chicago Bears. They are a team that needs a lot of work, but he's testing himself against the best of the best over there in that division, and I want to see him wake up. He said, this is the, he asked to come back. He said, this is the Madden. I'm plugged in. He's playing in 600 leagues. And I'm just like, man, is this that important to you? You putting in for changing teams for the 900th time? And I'm just like, I want to see the Bears win. If the Bears win here, just like when the Packers win, it just makes that division better. And it just gives us more football to watch, better football to watch. I'm also really excited about the Falcons-Panthers. I just think these two teams, anytime they meet up, it's going to be a hell of a good game. Two rivals, two guys that know each other, and this could go any direction. You just never know what's going to happen. Both kind of surge and come back and surge and come back. I'm waiting for Kobe to get on one of those Kobe runs where he just goes and rattles off 6 in a row. And now he went from being outside looking in to, a 4th seed, a 5th seed. I'm looking for Kobe to get that done here really, really soon. I'm also really interested in the Jaguars and Chiefs. What's Duval going to do with his new team? Now he's moving back over there. I'm also really interested to see what our new guy Bird, who's coming over from the TFL, taking over the Cardinals. I don't know if he's going to sit at the Cardinals. The Cardinals are now open. We'll see if anybody currently puts in. But for this week, he's going to play as the Cardinals. And then what's our guy Dawson? I just pull for Dawson. I love Dawson. Now, he's one of the old school commentators here on Press Pass Live. Him, Wayne, and Maniac, all 4 of us used to be on the show every single week. What's he going to do now taking over the Buccaneers? He's going to go play Kevin. It should be really, really good. Also, just throwing this out there, I'm interested if I get to play him. Hopefully, Outlaw and I can play what my new quarterback's going to do in New Orleans. So we picked up Felipe Franks. We did. He was fun. He was fun in the CPU game, but the CPU game you can take nothing from. So just interested. Like, you can get a little bit of timing down, and he gives me the added weapon of when things break down, I can get out of there and make a few little plays. And so I'm excited to kind of see what can happen there. Unfortunately, this week we lost our guy, Brady, who used to do the OMFL News, so that is now open. You have automatic silver incentive for anybody who does the OMFL News on a weekly basis. I can get with you and tell you how he used to do them and how I use them. And then you just have to gain a few extra points to get gold for that incentive. And then we are adding just one of the better guys in this community, Bird. I've gotten to know Bird over the years playing PUBG and other shooters. Just a good dude. He gets busy at times. He's a teacher, and so I hope that life doesn't ever take him away from us, but we became a better league adding a guy of Bird's caliber to our league, and I'm really excited about that. And we have also got some other guys kind of waiting in the wings. Hopefully we don't have to do that. I don't want to lose anybody, but if we need to, we do have some extra guys kind of waiting in the wings. Give me some closing thoughts, Mr. Trey. Week number 10 in the OMFL. It's here.
Yeah, I didn't expect to get here, but here we are. I'm glad we didn't get that pause.
Before you tell me, I thought we were going to pause too, and then tonight I thought we broke the CFM. So we had to remove Brady. We invited Bird so that all teams were filled. We advanced it. We removed Bird. We told Dawson to retire, to make a new character, to grab the open team. It started telling him the server was down. I went to remove Dawson. Dawson was not on the list to remove. 2 open teams like we were supposed to have. Denbrew tried to invite Bird. It said servers are down. I tried to invite Dawson. It said this owner's already in the league, and he wasn't on the screen. And I was like, we broke it. We finally, we found the glitch. We broke the CFM. But then I was able to invite Bird. Bird was able to accept it. And so he is sitting as the Cardinals. And now I hope that kind of cleared things tomorrow. Dawson's already in bed for work. He's got to get up bright and early. But hopefully he'll try again tomorrow and be able to get in. And we'll be fine. And we'll be good. And we'll keep on trucking until that next patch comes out in October. But I just wanted to pause and say it. I did think that we broke it tonight.
Go boy.
So what else about week 10? Anything else?
Some lot of key matchups that I really want to keep eyes on, especially towards division races, like you mentioned with Panthers and Falcons. You've got the 49ers, the Commanders and the Eagles. That's another division matchup. You've got The only undefeated team left, the Chargers, going up against arguably the best person the last 3-4 years. Can Pepper do what nobody expects him to do? And if so, does that open for other guys in the AFC, like you mentioned earlier, that, hey, we've got a guy that can go up. If we can play with this guy and keep with him, we got a shot against the NFC when it comes to the OMFL Bowl. I'm really excited to see these things.
Yeah, I also think that it's moving week. Right? The next 2 or 3. Okay, clearly I did something wrong here. The next 2 or 3 weeks, they're moving week, right? This is where teams are going to go and make their move and either make a run for the playoffs, make a run for their division, make a run for off-season awards, or fall back. And so this is the next couple of advances of the time that we're going to see a lot of movement. Trey, I can't wait to break it down with you again next week. We're going to start to turn the corner a little bit. Let's see how many advances we get in, but maybe we can start to take a look at some early postseason possibilities, maybe some early postseason award outlook, kind of like who are we looking at, and then who do we think is actually going to start to make a run, because by then we should be in week like 12 or so, and so we should start to see some teams make a run. Yeah, that would be amazing. If we get to week 13, we'll probably do another power rankings, but I feel like power rankings may have to wait one more extra week. Trey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you for being here. Guys, thank y'all for hanging out with Trey and I tonight for Press Pass Live. Can you imagine? We are almost to 300 episodes of this show. It's just been really amazing. Do me a favor, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, if you're new here, check out grownfolksoc.com. The OC stands for Online Community, because Grown Folks was already taken, so we had to come up with something. So grownfolksoc.com. If you're tired of playing with randos, you're tired of playing with kids, people with no mics, angry folk, check out Grown Folks. If you play it, we got a community of guys here that play it. Yeah, Madden's going to be a big piece of it. PUBG, Warzone, we got a new FIFA growing. We got a 2K group that's trying to get going. So come check us out, grownfolksoc.com. I think you're going to like what you find. And then, of course, like and subscribe to be a part of the Grown Folks family. I stream live here multiple times a week for Madden and PUBG and Warzone, kind of whatever shooter we're playing that night. And of course, all my OMFL CFM content. The OMFL is the longest online CFM in the world, and we'd love for you to come be a part of the family and check us out. All right, until next time, we'll see you. God bless. Peace.
Hello?
Smash that like and subscribe.